Good morning, everybody. We're going to start with a brief opening statement from Coach, and after that we'll take questions. Coach, if you want to lead us off.
Excited to be back home, getting back in the dome, hoping the fans are going to be there to be our 12th man. We definitely need them. We're excited about getting an opportunity to play our rival, Boston College. Coach Hafley and his team is on a roll. And I believe they've won 4 in a row, 2-2 in conference, and just coming off a big win versus Connecticut. This game is different. The older guys know, the younger guys are going to find out real quick, and we're excited about having our next opportunity to right some wrongs. Questions?
Start with Emily in the front.
Dino, after the game Thursday, you said everything was going to be under review. What has that looked like in the 4 days since the game?
It's been long. We've been doing a lot of studies, a lot of individual time with players and coaches. And I think that we probably know ourselves better than we did in the bye. It's been intense, and we're excited to see where we go with it.
Did you guys stick with the full team format for film review, or did you go back?
No, ma'am.
And then have there been any changes to what practice has looked like or anything like that structurally based on the concept of everything being under review?
There's been one change, basically. That's it.
What's the change been?
No, not telling you about the change, but one change has happened.
Michael, then we'll go right across the front to Chris and Brent.
Coach, looking at the depth chart this week, Jeremiah Wilson's not on it. What's his status moving forward?
Jeremiah has switched positions from corner to safety, so he's in the process of retraining.
Okay. And a couple other absences. Kalen Ellis still not in the 2 deep. At this point, are you possibly considering a red shirt for him with only a couple games left in the season?
Kalen Ellis will red shirt. He had injury to him in August. He has the exact same injury that Aronde Gatson has.
The same with him, possibly redshirting?
No report on Trevor yet.
All right, thank you.
You just pass that to Chris right there.
Dino, have you talked to John Wildhack since the Virginia Tech game to discuss what he wants to see the rest of the season for you to be back next year?
I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Boston College. The answer to your question is no. Let's stay focused on the games, please.
Do you think if you guys make a bowl game that you should be back next year?
Next question.
Brent.
Coach, you mentioned the fans on Friday. For those fans that see the performance of the team as kind of a referendum on your job, what would your message be to them?
My thing to the fans is this, and it's not about my job. My thing is about these players playing well and playing to the utmost of their ability, and me trying our best as a staff to help them. You guys can take the narrative that you want to take. Our focus is on Boston College. Period. That's it.
The performance of the team, the last 4 games at Virginia Tech specifically in focus, just what is not connecting with the team that you're seeing in practice, in the film sessions, in the review sense?
Well, it's not effort. I mean, I watched that game to the end. There was amazing things that happened in the fourth quarter. There were guys that were out. Our defense was playing outstanding, held in some field goals and some red zone drives. Offensively, definitely not clicking. Offensively has definitely been the focus that we've had, but it's not from a lack of effort.
We'll go to Tyler over here in the corner and then go back up top to Citrus.
Coach, you had mentioned last week that you were expecting the offense to get back to the efficiency of the start of the season, and that didn't really happen against Virginia Tech. What were you expecting to see, and what stopped your team from getting back to that efficiency?
I think the biggest thing was we got just jumped on. It was so fast, so quick. We didn't handle that well. But there was physical parts of the game. I thought we were hitting them. I thought they were hitting us. But definitely when you get that many sacks, it's hard to overcome those down and distances. And you have to stay out of those third down and longs, which makes it extremely difficult for you to stay on the football field with a conversion. So that's the focus, and that's what we need to get back to. The Virginia Tech young men inside were exceptional. Their 1 and 3 techniques were exceptional, and they really gave our guards trouble. But it's not just, hey, pick out a guard, pick out a guard. To throw the football, a lot of people have to be right. And there was just too much pressure, not enough guys open at certain times, and decisions need to be faster. So it goes around to all of them. It goes around to all the coaches. It goes around to the head coach, all of us. We all work together to make it easier. We need to make it easier on those guys to have an opportunity to have success.
Coach, do you have any updates on Jaden Bellamy's status?
Not at this moment, because we're still waiting what's going on. You know, he went to the hospital after the game. They pulled the parents out of the stand, went with the hospital with him, and then he got back after the game. We waited so he could come fly back in with us. So for his parents, it was a full day. You know, coming to watch your son play, watch your son get hurt, go to the hospital with your son, leave the hospital with your son, get your son back to the bus before the bus can fly back from Virginia. It was a full day for them. But he is hopefully going to get better as fast as possible, and hopefully he'll be better soon. But the great thing about this institution is we'll never put him out there before his time. So when he gets better, we'll put him back out there.
We'll go to Tommy in the second row.
Coach, Garrett Schrader, after the Virginia Tech game, put a few of those sacks on him. Do you believe he's struggling to escape pressure compared to what we saw he was able to do at the start of the season?
You know, it's interesting that you would ask that question. When you watch a game, sometimes you can get misconceptions as a viewer. And again, that's why I said you got to go back and watch the tape. And I went back and I really watched the tape a bunch. And he can put some things on him, but there's some things on some other people too. Garrett Schrader's a tough guy, and he'll stand and take a lot of punishment. He reminds me of the other tough quarterbacks I've had in my past. They'll take some punishment, but some stuff is just not fair. And we all, when I say all, coaches, O-line, receivers, quarterbacks, we all need to work together to make his job easier, not harder. So we're really focusing on that point.
Garrett said that sometimes it can be tough to kind of learn on the fly with new people in new positions as injuries pile up during a game. Is there a way for you to prepare the team so that, you know, whenever someone is going into a new position that they know exactly what they need to do?
That's a two-edged question. It goes back to not spring ball, but it goes back to the summer. And when you're going back, and I was watching tapes, and I went all the way back because I wanted to see every doggone incompletion, every completion, and you watched OG work in certain areas and how a route would break off, and it wasn't exactly right, but Garrett had a great feel for what he was going to do. That's built up over time. That's June, that's July, that's August, and then you get into game time. When you lose a guy like that, not an excuse. You have to put other people in there. And then I'm looking for that, you're looking for that continuity of where that next connection going to be. And we've had, you know, Donovan in there, we've had Dan Bellari in there, we've had Damian in there, and all those guys are doing a good job. But those different bodies, reading those different body types compared to reading somebody consistently like OG is different. And there's been some growing pains. There's no doubt about that. You can see that for yourselves. But I believe that we're coming up with the answers that we can see growth in that area very soon.
Back in front of Chris.
Dino, Eric Dungy mentioned, he doesn't think some of the player comportment on the sideline would have been tolerated when he was here under you. Do you feel like your standards or how you've instilled discipline has changed in any way over the years?
You're asking me a question about Eric. No, I wouldn't say that they've changed. I saw a little bit of something that he said, and some of that stuff I agree with. The part I don't agree with is guys quitting. There were some things that were addressed that he actually said, and I think he was right. Eric Dungy is one of the greatest competitors I've ever seen. And when it comes to how he plays the game, he only plays it one way. Now, we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to play the game the right way. And I believe most of our guys are. There's no quit in this team. I didn't see anybody quit, and that's why I went back and watched the tape. But, there was a situation of something that happened, and it was addressed, and rightfully so.
What about his critique in looking back at some of the kicking decisions, right? The idea that you guys were playing to minimize the number of points you lost by, not lose by 40. Do you agree with anything there?
This is what I would say. I'd say bring him in the room. Eric can come to any practice. He's an alumnus. All alumnus can come to practice. Come in, watch our practice, get around our captains, and he can make his own decision and go out and tell you guys.
Matt.
This is the one I have to listen to.
Coach, with those captains, what are some of the conversations that they're having with players in the locker room to kind of lift spirits heading into Boston College?
Again, you guys are going to have complete access to them. You guys can ask them those questions. I have meetings with captains and we talk about certain topics. They understand that they're the bridge to the locker room and they need to handle that part.
And with the coaches, what are you guys saying to kind of lift the spirits to get this win over Boston College?
Ask the players about the practices. Ask the players if the coaches are lifting the spirits.
We'll go back to Citrus and then down front.
Coach, what were some of your main takeaways from last year's win against Boston College?
A very disappointing game for about 3 quarters. A very exciting fourth quarter. Some things that happened in the game that happened in rivalry games. Some things that I didn't approve of, probably some things that they didn't approve of. And hopefully we can play the cleanest rivalry game on both sides of the field so that the fans can really see a fantastic game.
You had said on Thursday you wanted to look back at the film to see what was causing the slow start on offense, and I know you referenced it a little bit earlier, but just what have you seen that you can tangibly make better this week to make sure first drive out against Boston College there's actual production?
I cannot give you the details of it, Emily, but I can look you dead in the eye as I am in telling you that I took that personally. And I'm really hoping, okay, and I have faith that we should have an opportunity. Now, the other team's going to try to stop us, but I would like to think that we have an opportunity to start faster.
Does it come down to play calling or execution, do you think?
It comes down to all those things.
Doesn't lean one way more than the other, do you think?
It all depends.
We'll go to the second row to Tommy and then back down to you.
I know you're a pretty busy dude on Sundays, normally watching tape and everything. I know it was a Thursday game.
Especially when Sunday's a Monday and Monday is a Tuesday.
Precisely. Tommy DeVito got out there for the Giants yesterday and scored a touchdown. I know we talked about Zaire Franklin in the past, Garrett Williams having his moment, just another one of your former guys. What's it like seeing specifically him doing it?
I haven't had a chance to see it. Hopefully I'll get some time at the end of the week to see it. I'm fired up. I still remember Tommy DeVito. I went to my first play in New York, and I'm sitting at the play, and we're recruiting 3 different quarterbacks. And then the guy says, hey, blah, 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 my name is Tommy DeVito, right there in the middle of the play. And I didn't know what play I was at. And I'm like, that's the name of the doggone quarterback we're recruiting. And went after him, got him to sign here, and it was one of my greatest. I felt like it was definitely going to work out. It was sad that it didn't work out, but I have nothing but good thoughts and I want that guy to do well. Just like I want all my ex-guys to do well. My guys that are at Memphis, my guys that are at South Carolina, my guys at Ohio State, LSU. I want them to do well. I don't wish bad things on guys that, decide that for whatever reason, this is not the place. Jordan. He's doing a great job at Louisville. I have seen him more in the airport as a Cardinal than I ever saw him as an Orange. The last 3 times I've been in an airport, I've either seen him or his parents. So, Jordan, it's weird, Jordan, but I'm excited for those guys, and I'm excited for Tommy. It's something that he's always wanted. He's close to home, New Jersey guy on the Giants. My God, that's fantastic. So I'm happy for him, and hopefully, he'll continue to do well.
Coach, you had mentioned you want Syracuse fans to be the 12th man against Boston College on Friday. What specifically is exciting to you about being home, especially given it's been so long since there's been a game in the Dome?
Long time. I think back to, other offenses having trouble hearing their snap counts, other offenses not jumping off sides or leaning and hearing the crowd get excited, watching the defense get excited as they get another opportunity 5 yards back. I want those good times again. The Dome, there's no place like Dome. There's no place like Dome. And, You know, it's the perfect time for us to come back. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for us.
Thank you, President Michael. Then Coach Moore after that.
Coach, when you first came here, your mantra was "Orange is the new fast." In recent times, it seems as though the offense has really, at least in the last couple of games, has slowed down. Do you have confidence in your personnel that you can get back to that style in the last couple of games of the year?
You know, the biggest thing is you have to play to your strengths and you have to minimize your weaknesses. And it's about game planning. If I had my way, I'd play fast every single time. But sometimes you have to decide, is that the surest way to win? And our biggest thing is trying to find a way to get a win. So I love that speed. Because of the rule changes from 2016 and 2017, we actually can't go at that speed. No team can. But if you were a part of the 2016, 2017, and I can't remember if the rule was 2017 or 2018 when they changed it, but those are the fastest teams you're going to see around the country. Then the rule change slows you down, but you can still go faster than what we have been going. But we have to decide whether it's to our advantage or our disadvantage.
Take two more for Coach. If anybody's got them, we'll start with Wyatt.
Is there an update on Umari Hatcher or Jacob Bradford?
Both of those guys, we have to see how it goes. We hope that they're both with us. Bradford was down the entire second half, and I believe Josh Ialoa came in for him. I can take the word believe out. Josh Ialoa came in for him. And, you know, Umari was starting to do some things that was exciting us, and hopefully he can get back to us soon.
Last question for Coach. One to Chris in front.
You know, you mentioned the need to play to your strengths on offense. Given kind of the injuries and the personnel situation that you're at, what do you think that is right now?
I would love to tell you when the cameras are off and when you told me, hey, you know, I'm not going to write about this. Just tell me exactly. I want to ask you that question, and I will answer it in great detail.
I think it'll be obvious Saturday when we want you guys, or Friday.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tuesday. Game on Friday.